Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of 6 out of 7 podcasts. I'm Liam.
And I'm Calum.
Yeah, we're back.
We're back again.
You excited?
I am. We're late. Sorry guys, we're late.
You were late, but this is really episode 9.
See, not for lack of trying.
Yeah, we've done our best. We've done an episode yesterday, we've done an episode a week and a half ago.
I was in Belfast for a bit.
Yeah, we've had a break. So we're back to talk about our favourite soundtracks.
Soundtracks, not Star Wars, which was promised.
Was it promised?
It was promised. It was certainly promised. It was mentioned, at least. But soundtracks is a better topic.
I love a Star Wars.
So Star Wars soundtrack's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not on my list.
Is it not? I'm
No.
shocked. You're kind of Star Wars'd out, aren't you?
Yeah, we were talking about doing it again for a third time, the Star Wars episode, and I couldn't.
Couldn't face it.
I feel like all my energy, I would sound like a man that didn't like Star Wars, and that's untrue.
So yeah, that would be unrepresentative of your actual feelings.
Let's get hyped.
Soundtracks. What do you think about soundtracks, Liam?
I think they are a very important part of a film. They're if done right, they go with the film extremely well. They add a lot more to the film. If done poorly, I don't even mean poorly, because how do you do a bad sound? Obviously you could just play terrible music and that would be a bad soundtrack, but things that are like really on the nose, like Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah,
was really like just the most generic.
It was trying to do the James Gunn Guardians of the Galaxy thing, but it fucked it up.
Yeah.
First swear of the podcast.
Yes, what are we, 3 minutes in?
Nailed it.
And like Watchmen's really bad for that. Like
I think so. It's good sound, but
overall it sets the time really well. But I think like the times they are changing by Dylan, like over the
60s,
over the like montage of the superheroes is really cool. But then it's like Sound of Silence while they're at a funeral, and it's just we get it, you know.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. I hadn't thought about that, but I agree with you.
Start thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about it. Who directed that Watchmen? I like that film. It's the first film. A trivial fact. First film that I ever snuck into. Snyder, right? So I think I can't think of massive soundtrack films like the Superman films. Don't really have like his ones are not particularly striking in terms of their musical sort of sound crafting.
There will be a theme to that, but I literally have no idea what it is.
It doesn't still like. Whereas the Superman theme, like I think it's John Williams, is it? His Superman theme is like. We can't play any music either, so that's gonna be the best.
You probably can. Like I've said, some people have said to me, your channel is so unknown,
no adverts,
and no one listens to it. So
just do what we want.
We could literally upload anything we wanted, I think, and probably wouldn't get caught. But I'm worried. I'm scared, Cal.
We're law abiders.
I'm scared.
We're law abiders.
The YouTube police sound absolutely horrific.
Yeah,
so
I wouldn't want to work for YouTube because they have to watch some crazy mad shit.
I would work for YouTube.
No, like when you start, apparently like Facebook stuff, like when you start working in that company, you have to like watch all that stuff that gets flagged, and so you end up seeing horrible. Oh my god, there's someone at the freaking door.
Okay, we're back. Calum, you've had your meters read.
They've been read. Everything's in order.
Take that.
Yeah, everything's trying to get in the way of this podcast, man. Like
this episode 7. Well, 7's it's unlucky to some.
No, it's not. Why are you saying that?
It is.
It's not.
Lucky number 11.
Right, but that's luck. Anyway, let's not go back in time. We're trying to go forward, and I'm trying to make a podcast. Okay. Let's go forward.
My notebook is on the wrong side. Okay, so yeah, how do you feel about soundtracks? Do you like them?
I agree.
I mean, that's a stupid
I think it's good,
fucking question.
But like, I agree. I think it can be done poorly. I think like it's not just like a director will like all these songs and sort of think that their musical taste will translate well to the screen. I think pairing sound with image is harder than it looks or sounds, and it can be done poorly. I agree. I think Watchmen is a pretty good example because it's quite fantastic songs. Like I love Bob Dylan, I love Simon and Garfunkel. All of that together sounds good, but when put on the screen, it is a bit sort of it's unremarkable. There's nothing really inventive in it. Yeah. Whereas like one of the things I'm going to talk about, they use it's interesting. Can be done in an interesting way as well.
Yeah,
and I like the way it creates a feeling. Like in order to make an atmosphere, it can be done just using original soundtracks or using songs. I personally prefer it when they use songs that I'm familiar with already and then make me look at that song differently, or like make me sort of create that association in my brain. Tarantino's very good at creating that association with something that you know and are quite familiar with, and that association is then like improved.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad kind of nearly killed Queen, That
the trailer.
The trailer was like,
it's
God,
not great.
Was it not good? It was really bad.
What was the first one? I remember they had a bad trailer first, and then they had a good trailer, and the first trailer was like really sad and dour.
Yeah.
And then they had
like what was it like?
What was the
Bohemian
Queen
Rhapsody?
Song? They had, I think it was, yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, it was, because she like hits people to like the beat of it. But anyway, why are we even talking about Suicide Squad?
It's a bad example. It's a good song, but used in a bad way. Used in a way that is like it doesn't work, doesn't fit. When I was
studying music, I wanted to be a music supervisor. That's the job. That's basically when you get the film at the end, or you speak to the director and they say, what songs do you think would fit in here? And people like T-Bone Burnett, the guy that does like The Big Lebowski, and he's done I'm going to talk about True Detective season 1. They've just got such a knowledge of music that they're just like, this would fit in there and stuff. I know what you're saying about, like, I think Scorsese's really good for like taking a song you already know and putting it to like a incredible
visual feast.
Yeah, like in Goodfellas, when they're killing bats and it's Donovan Atlantis playing.
Yeah.
Like, I'd already heard that song obviously, but that like adds another layer to the song, you know, and when you're listening to it you're thinking about that, so that's incredible. But I prefer to hear songs that I didn't know already. And like actually get something from the film.
Should we leap into an example?
Do your first one.
So I've got these ones at the top of the ones I actually...
Juice.
Thank you. That's not mine. Sorka with Stealing Your Juice.
Oh dear lord. We've got pints.
Theft. High Fidelity, 2000. Have you got this on your list? Nailed it. Beat you to it. Great. I watched it when I was like early teens. Sort of my musical taste hadn't quite developed, and this is like bangers. Every single one. I was like, God, 13-foot elevator, beta band. Like that would make my way in. And like obviously like it's that Nick Hornby book which I read. Embarrassing, I read it after I watched the film. But again, the book is again full of all these great musical references that like that was my introduction to it, and I can't really listen to I've written one down, Beta Band Dry the Rain. I can't really listen to it without remembering that scene in the music shop. And like Nirvana, I'd kind of already heard of Nirvana, obviously everyone's heard of Nirvana, but as a teenager that was sort of their conversation about that band. It was like, oh, like I kind of adopted it or brought it into myself in like quite an impressionable age.
And what did you say?
Fantastic.
What bit's Nirvana?
I think Jack Black and the other bald guy are like sort of like, oh, that's sort of such a boring choice for musical. Like,
They
have like that sort of.
I love that whole just
chat.
You and your, because they are friends, like Rob, Dick and Barry in the film. They are, as much as Rob doesn't, they all don't like each other. They're all such like dysfunctional
they
family.
feel like they're outside of.
But like they obviously do it, and like I love being like, what's your favourite? Like if I'm in work and I'm with someone new, I'd be like, what's your favourite film? What's your favourite this and that? You know, it's just a good way to get to know people, and they're like top 5 conversations are just all like, I just love them. They're cool.
And like, but it's done in a way that's not super judgmental. Like they kind of rag on each other, and this is why I like this. Kind of why the podcast exists, because it's not like super like, oh, I can't believe you like that. I can't believe you like Austin Powers. I can't talk to you ever again.
We're still going on about Austin Powers. It was several episodes ago.
Not that long ago.
5 episodes. Well, more than that.
But it's just funny. Like I enjoy that, and that film reflects that back. And I think it really lends itself to the songs. Lend itself. Obviously, it's a film about music, and the guy works in a music shop. So mixtapes are a big part of that film. So it's a good example. I've stolen it from you. I'm sorry.
No, so like I have a lot of affection for it. When I was growing up, it was...
You're a fan of Nick Hornby.
I like Nick Hornby. I like most of his stuff. I love the book. The book, he's set in the UK, so he talks a lot more about the Beatles, and Beatles are one of my favourite bands, so I like that side of it. I think in the book, on his birthday, he just like sits in his flat and gets drunk and listens to like he's like, I was listening to Abbey Road, and it was like he's talking just about Beatles albums he's going to listen to and stuff like that. I just love it. But yeah, like You're Gonna Miss Me, the start when he's breaking up with Laura, and he just like turns it right up, and he's just screaming out the window at her. It's just like, it works so well in the scene, that song, you know, and I'm sure I don't know who the music supervisor was on it, but he made great choices.
Yeah, we can find that out, but look it up, guys, if you're curious.
The Dry the Rain scene, so he's like, if you've not seen it, you just watch that part on YouTube. He's like, he says
it'll be
Dick,
clipped on YouTube.
He says to Dick, I'm now going to sell free copies of the free EPs by the Beta Band, and he puts on Dry the Rain. Like, Dry the Rain goes from this kind of like slow build up to this like amazing, like euphoric ending. It's just an incredible song, and it plays from that bit, and everyone's just in the store kind of like bobbing around. It's just amazing. And Sweet Nothing's in it when he finds out like his girlfriend slept with someone, and he's like such a superficial character, Rob. He, like, all of his emotive scenes are like played through music.
That's
and
the
stuff
only way
like
you can interact with stuff.
And he's just sitting in his flat, like with his leather jacket on, listening to "Oh Sweet Nothing" by the Velvet Underground, and again, they're one of my favourite bands, and it's just it's so pathetic in a way, but
he's got depth. He's got like such shallow depth.
Yeah, that like he needs this song to really, or maybe that's just the film's choice to like.
And I think Nick Hornby, at least in when I read the book, that was like he thinks he's really deep. Like he talks about how he read Milan Kundera, and he's like, the unbearable lightness of being, like it's about girls, right? It's about dating. I get it. But all he thinks about is girls and his relationships and how he is reflected back in other people.
And he Rob himself like speaks to that in the film. He's like, these things fucking matter. Call me shallow, like books, films, TV shows. If you have things in common, then you're going to get on better. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's like reflective in the film, but like how important these things are. But it's good. It's a great soundtrack. There's probably, I would say, like 30 songs in the soundtrack. There's
music throughout the whole film pretty much.
But just everyone's great in it. The music's great. Watch it.
I bought the CD and then gave it to someone and haven't got it back. I'm annoyed. But anyway, that's my first one.
A bit of
I'm alright. It had a lovely orange cover, and then it was lots of faces of John Cusack behind stuff.
I think it's definitely got me up for my Christmas or
it's
birthday.
It's a great CD.
It's just a good soundtrack. My first one, High Fidelity was my second. So, Drive.
Drive, yeah, we talked about Drive.
It's there's maybe like 4 actual songs original songs, and then the rest is score. So like Nightcall by Kavinsky. So he does his first mission. He does his first job with these guys, and then you just hear it start, and I would have loved to see that in the cinema.
Yeah, that's mate. We should sort it out.
I mean,
that is. I remember seeing it and loving it. Like just the way, like it's just little things about that Nightcall, particularly like when he's like he goes into his flat and you're like learning about him. Like he hasn't got a lot on in his life. He's like, it's quite a bare flat. There's like one glass of water like left on the side, and he's got a carburetor on the table, and he flicks the light just in time with music. And it's like that. Not everyone I would think, I don't know, but not everyone would link that sound to that image, and then it's like cuts the big like helicopter shot of him bombing down. It's fantastic.
The visuals and how it goes with that.
It's all driving music.
It's one of my favourite. Like it's not the start of the film, but like introductions to a character, and it just works incredibly well. I didn't like it the first time.
Oh yeah.
Like because that's like really, I don't know if you've heard. I assume you've heard Nightcall by Kavinsky or seen Drive, but it's just this really like guttural, like horrible voice that's singing the verse part, and then this gorgeous female voice that's singing the chorus. So it puts you off a little.
Listening to it on its own, I would imagine that is it, but I can only really associate it with that opening and then like the big drive over the front of the image.
And Under Your Spell by Desire. Is this kind of,
that's the when
they're having the flat
Mulligan thing, or
they're having a flat party next door, and he's, if you not, I wouldn't explain like every scene, but it's just, it works really well in this, and she's thinking about the driver, but our ex boyfriend's just got out of jail, so there's this kind of conflict going on, and it just works incredibly well.
Is that the one I remember? I don't know. Is it All My Love, where he like is walking up to the?
That's
thing,
when he's got the mask
on.
That's
such a fantastic
image. He's looking at all these mobsters,
and they're just like slow
just
motion
laughing, and he's just got like, I'm going to kill them. I'm going to kill these people.
And like, it's awesome. That's really good.
A Real Hero by College. That's the last one. I think that's the last one as the credits go.
Real Human Being.
A Real Hero.
And what's the Real Human Being one? Is that
that's
the one?
That one?
No.
I think it's called A Real Hero.
Okay, I just like the way they say it. Rather than being, it sounds like bean.
Like bean?
Like a bean.
Like a baked bean.
Yeah, on toast.
It's just, it works incredibly well at the end, because he's kind of sitting and you don't know if he's dead or not, and then the music like fades in.
Yeah.
Done incredibly well. And all the original score by Cliff Martinez.
I got that's one I own as well.
Beautiful, all really ambient, and just works really well with the film. With the visuals that are going on. There's one especially called Wrong Floor, that's the elevator scene, so he gets in and he knows, already, like he gets in the lift, I can't remember the girl's name in it.
Carey Mulligan.
But I can't remember her character's name.
I don't know. Carey Mulligan.
They get in the lift together, and this kind of hitman assassin's already there, and they're just standing together, and everything's quite awkward, and this music starts to play, and he kisses her,
and the lights come up in the elevator.
It's just like beautiful. It's like, I take it like out of context, you're like, what is happening? But and then it goes from this beautiful scene to he just literally
Stamps
kicks his head open.
Love it.
Incredible.
I don't love it. I think it's awful and traumatic, but it's good. It's
just
like a good
all round
pairing of like quite sort of angelic or
Yeah.
choral music with like something that's really gross and disgusting. Irene is her name.
Irene, I would not have guessed that.
I don't.
A month of summers.
Month of summers.
No, a month of Sundays.
Sundays, that works as well. A month of summers is also quite unlikely.
If you've not seen Drive, I don't know what you're doing because it's like 90 minutes.
Stop saying that.
There's
to
not,
people.
but seriously, like there's not.
I mean, we are.
There's nothing
highly
bad
endorsing
about it.
We're endorsing it. You don't have to watch
I
it.
love it.
Yeah. Anyway, you're not going to get much from this podcast if you haven't seen Drive because we talked about it for about 10 minutes there. Felt like. My next one, Inside Llewyn Davis. I have the CD.
Not seen it.
The CD.
So go ahead.
It's fantastic. It's Coen Brothers, Oscar Isaacs, Carey Mulligan's in it again. Justin Timberlake's in it. Adam Driver's in it. You'd be well into it. And it's sort of set in the 60s, kind of like Greenwich Village, New York. That sort of beatnik coming into folk songy, folk music-y era. People know more about this than me. Again, Coen Brothers will be a topic people know well.
Yep.
So I'm not going to try and describe it at all in entirety, but it's a cool film with a load of great original music.
Is it all original?
Not all original.
Right,
There's some stuff that's like, and it's like based on folk songs, so it's like not copyrighted. Just like there's one, I forget the name of it, where he's trying to convince this guy to sign him, and he's singing this old like English folk song about the English rose or something. But it's all him singing. Mm-hmm. He's a really good guitarist, a really good singer, and it's like really. It's about music. It's about him trying to make it in the music scene, and him being this sort of middling to quite good folk singer in a sea of other middling to quite good folk singers.
Does he make it?
That'd be spoiling the film, wouldn't it?
Right, but
that would be spoiling the film.
Just nod or.
I'm not going to do that.
Oh, you're such a.
You should watch the film. It's not really about that. It's what is it about? I don't know. What is I think it's about trying to make it, maybe about that era, that time, and like around Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan kind of is tangentially featured in it. Like they're in like a bar and it's quite clearly that's him on the stage, but it's not really him.
Right.
And it's just sort of married with a lot of great original songs, plus some of its own orchestral stuff.
Okay.
It's good. It's a good one.
You've sold it.
Oh, thank you.
You've sold me down the river.
And now you've got to watch it and find out whether or not Llewyn does it.
I'll read the wiki.
Oh, depressing. You do your one.
Eagle versus Shark.
I haven't seen it.
So that's Taika Waititi, his first film. I love it. It's one of my favourite films. It's not for everyone. It's very quirky, awkward comedy. I can understand why someone would be like, I hate this.
Is it on streaming?
I don't know how. I genuinely don't know how I've seen it. Maybe it was on like Amazon Prime, and it's Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords. Yeah, good one, Liam.
Yeah.
Flight
Don't
of the Conchords.
Don't be so mean to yourself. You're all right. You're doing well.
It's good. It's just Lily's in it. I don't know the actress's name. I don't think she's gone on to do much, but she's really cute in it. And Jermaine he's a shit basically. He's got a mullet in it. It's great. It's set in New Zealand or Australian. They are.
Probably New Zealand, right? Like he's from New Zealand.
Yeah, if that's what.
Yeah, that's Taika's.
Yeah,
patch.
obviously, because that's what Jermaine is as well. Yeah, so yeah, it's just good. The Reduction Agents 80 celebration. That's like there's a kind of dance. She's like this wallflower, and then she comes into her own. She goes to meet his family. Basically, that's what the story is, and she comes into her own. And this song that plays, like I run to it. I think it's fucking.
That's heavy praise, man.
It's like 90 seconds, but it's just like it's just a lovely little cool song. This is the one by the Stone Roses. It's comes out of nowhere because it's such like a low budget. They must have spent all the budget on it really.
That song.
But it's what you're it's what you're saying at the start. Like I'd heard that song 100 times before, but in the film it's set to like a romantic scene,
and it comes at you from an oblique angle.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I'd never thought of that. Obviously, it is quite a romantic song. It's like this is the one. And I assume he's singing about a girl or whatever. Yeah, exactly. But I'd never thought of it that way. But at the end, they kind of go off into the sunset together, and it's playing, and I was like, that really works, And the original music. Sorry for talking over you. Carry on. Is the Phoenix Foundation. I don't know much about them, but the original music in it is all quite like quirky and
one true
nice.
listener will know and will tell you
who the Phoenix Foundation are.
Everything you failed to have understood.
I doubt it. But yeah, it's
that's a challenge.
It's again, if you like High Fidelity, it's obviously not similar to it, but it's that kind of like quirky, good music, you know.
I like his stuff, and I would love to see more. I've seen that. I've saw.
You seen Eagle vs.
No, I haven't seen that. But I said that when in my head talking about the one with the real vampires, like What We Do in the Shadows, which is fantastic. I don't think it has a particularly.
It's got very it's got
just kind of eerie stuff in it.
It's the song over the theme is really great. It's like you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. It keeps repeating that.
Is that just his own original stuff?
I don't know who that's by though.
Yeah. Not helpful. Thor Ragnarok's got a great soundtrack, great, like it just picks some good stuff. Come on, Mothership, amazing, so good. What it was designed to do.
100%.
Like that's the kind of film that Led Zeppelin would like to be involved in.
He's always got like in Hunt for the Wilder People or Wilder People, whatever.
Wilder People.
He's always got like quite, because Lily sings a song in it. It's called Apples and Oranges, and it's just quite like, you know what, you can imagine it's quite quirky and this girl just sitting singing a song, but that's got a song the mum sings the Happy Birthday song as well in it.
They'll cry. So sad. And he's really into like West Coast rap.
Right, okay.
But they don't really use much of that, so it's funny to see him, like, he thinks he's Tupac or whatever, and then he's singing along to the piano.
That's my least favourite one of his, though.
Really?
I don't like the kids.
Yeah. Oh, I really like him.
Oh, dear Lord.
I think he's good in Deadpool 2. He's quite good in Deadpool 2 as well, yeah.
Oh.
But I said that's not... They've got a soundtrack, I'm sure. Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2. I think they have, like...
X Gonna Give It To You.
X Gonna Give It To You. Yeah, that's... Okay,
it's a bit on the nose.
Yeah, I think it's kind of in the Watchmen vein. Like, it's a bit like, what song would we put on that?
Yeah.
That's pretty obvious.
We're not talking about Deadpool 2.
Maybe Thor is also a bit on the nose. Is that what you were saying?
Very good song.
Yeah, like the Ragnarok themes were a bit like, this is exactly...
Well, they should have played that when he arrives in Infinity War.
Yeah, that became his theme. That became his theme.
Like, he just arrives with a rocket and it's like... That's great. Anyway, what is your...
Third. I'm on third. Yeah. Sorry to bother you. This is something a lost podcast, a lost iteration about favourite films of last year. Sorry to bother you came out kind of tail end of December or early November. No, I'm gonna say do that. Tail end of December. I'm gonna say. And it had original soundtrack by Boots Riley. Boots Riley's like this is his film, and he did the soundtrack for it, and it's like great, which is really cool, and I like listened to it. I went afterwards and like listened to it.
What is that, original music or is it?
Yeah, it's his own original music. Original, like it's, mate, I'm gonna have to look it up. But the film this is like.
Why didn't you just write it down?
I haven't got a lot of space on my page. I like to write things on the one page, and this did not fit. But the film is about, I think it's tell you because this is in a lost podcast. The film is about this guy. It's like a dystopic future, almost like kind of near reality future in America, where like things are going slightly wrong. Like there's in terms of like 0 contracts and wages. There's this like wage free or slave wage thing where you like opt in. It's like worry free is called, and you just like become a slave essentially, and you work for nothing, but you're fed and you're looked after, and it's sort of this America is becoming this slightly weird place. And this guy Lakeith, who's in Atlanta, which I really like, mentioned before, is working his way through this world. He works in a telephone center, like he's calling people up, and like it's shot in an interesting way where when he's on the phone to them, he kind of like drops into their world. And he can't work. He's not very good at the job because as soon as he mentions his name, Cassius Clay, people hang up, and he needs to use his white voice. He's told to use his white voice by Danny Glover.
Danny Glover
gives him the advice. Yes, to use his white voice, and then things go weird from there. Things go weirder from there, basically. And the soundtrack is just like banging. It's a really good soundtrack by The Coup. And
he's looking at his phone.
I'm looking at my phone just to get the details, and that they're all of those songs are really good. 9 songs, 36 minutes.
Listen
to
it.
Good album. Listen to it if you want. You don't have to. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your life and your time, but it's only 36 minutes of your life, and it's married very well with the film and what the film's central ideas are.
Cool.
So I'd recommend it.
You've sold it.
I've sold it. It's like I don't even want to talk too much about it because it does like that is the premise. The trailer. What's the trailer? Maybe.
I didn't like the trailer. That kind of put me off.
Well, don't then. Do more.
Just watch the film.
Forget the trailer.
I feel like there was a couple like that and Into the Spider-Verse. I was like, why didn't I see it?
Yeah.
When I saw like what was that thing we saw about zombie?
Overlord. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I just don't.
Overlord had a pretty rad soundtrack.
Did it?
Yeah, it was like very rocky.
It was like pure.
It was
like Doom. It was like plain Doom.
It was Doom, and it had did it have an AC/DC number in the trailer or something when they're on the plane?
Probably.
Anyway,
every film does.
Every film does if they can. They'll do it. Big budget.
AC/DC.
Big budget.
Should I do my?
Yeah, I'm done with Sorry to Bother You, but it's one that I bought and like listened to. Mm-hmm. So
it's high praise. If you've seen the film in the cinema or whatever, or own it on DVD, and then you still want to pay money,
to just return to that.
Yeah, then it's high praise.
Particularly in the world of streaming. Like
in a world, I love streaming.
Yeah, you're a Spotify guy or iTunes?
I've got literally a massive box of CDs.
Another thing he's bigging up.
Why would I'll show you if you want, if you really want to see it.
I've seen his wife and his DVD case, by the way. Both, no. The DVD case is enormous. The wife is normal size. Do your next one. I've been talking too much. Sorry.
I thought you were going to say impressive.
Impressive. Both are impressive as well. Both are impressive in their own special way. Stephanie, I'm sorry about that.
So, True Detective Season 1. Again, T-Bone Burnett. He's one of these guys I think has done hundreds of films.
When you look into it, he's like got his fingers and everything. Yeah.
One of these music supervisors that people like he's well respected and he'll do good work sort of thing. But so he was the music supervisor for that, but he also does some original score for True Detective Season 1. I don't know if he done it after that. I assume he did because it's all got that kind of same feel, but it's just really like almost industrial sounding when they're out driving and it's so bleak and it's just kind of like this like ambient noise, but like metal clanging together, you know.
Just the opening like cinematic, like the opening True Detective sort of ident where you get all the characters' names and stuff is like you watch. I sit and watch it even though I've seen it 100 times. Before I watch the episode, I'll sit through it.
It's one of those ones where like I would never skip through it. It's Far From Any Road by
really
the
helps.
Handsome Family. That's the theme. It's one of the best TV themes ever.
The second season, sorry to jump, but okay. Is that not Leonard Cohen?
It's not Everybody Knows.
It's really good though. Whatever it is.
Is it Everybody Knows?
It sounds. I think so. That's one of the lines in it. Anyway, that I was listening to that and I was like, oh, like really, like it married those two things really well and like probably overpromised in terms of what the show was about. I could Google it just to sort of put your mind at ease.
Googling, it's fine.
I'm gonna. If we got a lecture involved, it'd be fine.
So the theme, Handsome Family, Far From Any Road is really great. There's this part. It's the end of the second last episode, where you find out, if you don't know anything about True Detective, like I'm not going to go into it and spoil it because you should watch the first season at least, but you find out the identity of the killer, and Lungs by Townes Van Sant plays, and it's just it's amazing, and it zooms out and the guy's just like he's mowing the grass. It's really incredible. There's just a lot of like dark country throughout the thing, you know,
atmospheric.
It works really well in that world, just really builds it. I don't really have anything else say about it. It's overall a good soundtrack.
I would endorse that. TV shows, it's impressive when they can kind of maintain that level. Like it's not just like we're using the same theme over and over again.
Definitely.
Choosing separate songs over a longer period of time rather than like a 90-minute film. You can kind of like anyone's taste in music can be palatable for 90 minutes, or any theme can be covered in 90 minutes pretty consistently. But True Detective does it. Like,
what are you looking up?
I'm looking up this Leonard Cohen thing. I think it's called Nevermind.
Yeah, well, he says that a lot as well.
There we go.
Anyway,
one true listener, you knew that. Everybody knows, except for us.
Justice League.
Oh.
But it was covered.
Oh, okay.
And it was disgusting.
There you go. Done good, done bad.
Because he died. People die.
People die.
Get over it.
Spoilers.
He died, so when did Justice League come out? 2017?
Yeah.
So he died like that year, the year just before. Mm-hmm. And there's this bit with the newspaper and it's like, was Prince, it's like all these dead rock stars apart from him, where the aliens or something like that. It's just bizarre. Like,
are we going to talk about Purple Rain?
No,
I've
not seen it.
We should mention it though. It's pretty good.
Do your last one. Do you have a last one?
My last one. Yeah. I want to get this one in just because I feel like you won't have had this on your list. Where is it? Ghost in the Shell. 1995 had a great soundtrack. Had a really cool atmospheric vibe soundtrack. Of them, again, it's the opening sequence called like Making a Cyborg, I think it's called, but it's just like it's the name Kenji something. I didn't write that down either, but I wanted to get it in because it was when you mentioned we're going to do soundtracks. This was weirdly the one that like popped into my head. Yeah. It's like this obviously singing in Japanese, so I have no idea what I'm talking about. But it's so like
just repeating Ghost in the Shell.
Probably, I don't know, or Making a Cyborg or something. But it's like that opening bit. It's like these weird little symbols and like just some sort of female choral voice, and it's so like, what time am I in? What am I listening to? And they use sort of refrains from it throughout the film, just like looking at incidental bits of the city of like Tokyo in I think it's 2019 it's set, or 2029 or something, it's supposed to be set. And it's like they're looking at canals, and it's like the future, but it's like, again, it's like gritty, shitty future where poor people still live, and like the music is married so well with it that it's just spooky. It's a spooky, weird, eerie thing. And it's good, and you should watch that film for that soundtrack.
I remember when I was...
You don't like anime as well?
Nah, it's weird.
Ghost in the Shell, watch it.
I got a PS1, and you got like a demo disc with it, and one of the games was Ghost in the Shell.
Right.
But you were like this little tank blowing up other tanks.
Yeah. There's a bit in the film where...
Yeah.
And there's a TV show as well. I think it had like a bit of an afterlife.
Is that an anime as well?
Yeah, it's an anime. Scarlett Johansson, like the 20, I think that was also 2017, Ghost in the Shell, Scarlett Johansson did a new one, and it sort of borrows a bit from the soundtrack, but it's not the same, it's Americanized.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I watched it.
Not terrible?
It wasn't great, no, it wasn't great. Scarlett, I'm sorry, I didn't like it.
She's not listening.
She might be.
She's definitely not.
No. Alright then. Well, anyway, I thought it was less than the first one. Maybe want to go back to watch the first one, so that's nice. You should watch it. You should watch 1995 Ghost in the Shell.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
Really.
Do your next one.
Just my last one. It's not really a score in particular, but Tim Burton stuff. Especially like his late 80s, early 90s stuff. It all sounds the same, but I love it. Cool. I love it. Stuff like Beetlejuice, Batman 89, Edward Scissorhands, and obviously like Batman Returns later on.
A lot of violins.
Yeah, there is. It's a lot of like...
A lot of strings.
It's wintry. Which I really like. It all works incredibly well in the film, and you can just like, I was looking at, he's done so many, he must be so rich, but I think by like early 2000s and like up to now he's just kind of phoning it in.
Yeah.
Because he done, what was it he done? And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, he's doing the new Men in Black one.
Right.
But he done the original Men in Black one. That's actually quite good. See when it's like, it's following the bug at the start.
Yeah.
It's actually quite a nice like wee score, but yeah, I can imagine now he's just like, what was he done? Like 50 Shades Freed.
Really?
Like what? Like I can't imagine he's doing much in that. Yeah. Like, maybe I'm wrong. People might be like, what the fuck? Like, that score's amazing. You know.
Once Your Listener has got a broad taste and you are offending it.
You say that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just going to comment on it.
I believe in Once Your Listener. I believe in you.
I don't know.
Write in.
I don't know if I
We're
like it.
getting people writing in. People are writing in.
Write in.
How do you feel about that though? We're having like, people are communicating. It's quite good.
I love it. I want more.
Yeah, do more. But
I want people. I want that first comment to be like, "You guys sound gay."
We had like a masturbatory comment.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
that was quite good. I thought I learned a new word.
Chug.
Anyway,
to chug.
To chug. Yeah, to chug.
I don't know. Yeah,
it's Scots language. 37 minutes, starting to drift.
Right.
What's next?
Honourable mentions. Just
honourable
do that.
Mentions. Raw. It's my honourable mention.
Oh, dear Lord.
It's good. It's got a good soundtrack. It's got a good soundtrack.
I've seen it. Yeah, it is good.
That's it. Raw.
That's your honourable mention.
The dough. I think they're called
the dough.
The dough or the dot. It's they're Finnish French band, and they like since watching the film I've gotten into that band, and like they've
right.
Released,
so they do it.
Yeah,
right,
they do like
cool.
They have a song in it, and they're variously involved, and it's good. Raw. Good soundtrack.
Can everyone just watch Raw?
Yeah.
So Calum
tell
will
me
shut the
watched
fuck up about it.
You're so angry today. What's happened?
I'm not. I want this episode to go well.
Yeah, and end shortly.
I'm not bothered about it ending. I mean, it needs to end at some point.
What are your other honourable mentions?
So done. These are all like modern films, so I didn't want to put them in as like and speak about them for long. But Whiplash.
Yes.
So yeah, obviously, if you've seen it, there's lots of jazz.
Yeah. That's him doing the drumming as well. Like he's like had to train really hard.
Some of it.
Yeah.
Some of it. I think like the better scenes.
The bit at the very end.
There's that drum solo that lasts for like 10 minutes.
I loved it.
I think we seen it in GFT the first time. People clapped at the end and they're just like, why are you?
No one's here.
Why are you?
Is
it a projectionist you're clapping? Like, what are you doing?
Clapping the electricity. The lights.
But it's great, and it does have that. It does feel like you're watching a performance.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's good, and it fits like when there's just like that burr, 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 when he's like running about the streets of New York.
Okay.
It fits it really well.
I think I remember that. I'm not sure if I do.
Literally, that's like the start.
Yeah. Cool.
It's just like a wee section.
Are you going to mention any musicals? We haven't mentioned a single musical.
One's coming.
Oh, good.
Worry.
Is it Great Showman?
Yeah. No, I'm still speaking about Whiplash.
Sorry.
And the song Whiplash by Hank Levy, I was like obsessed with for
really?
just because it's so
I don't remember that. I'll need to go back to it.
For college, we had to learn different genres to play, and I learned that to play jazz.
Right.
It's fucking it's cracking.
Cracking.
It's cracking.
That's a good one. Not a swear.
La La Land.
La La Land.
Fucking love it.
It's your favourite song?
I like. Crowd. Is it A Lovely Night? Lovely Night, yeah. When they do the dance.
And they're in different dresses.
It's beautiful. No.
Oh, like they're on the famous one where they're like.
That's someone in the crowd.
Someone in the crowd.
That's the one when they're all in the dances.
Do you think that the opening music is a bit low, and it's like they didn't hit you with a punch quite as strong because Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone aren't actually professionals?
No.
Like the one where they're all dancing on the freeway.
Yeah, but they don't sing in that.
Yeah, so like, is it deliberately dialed back in order to make them sound better?
Was that a thing?
Apparently so.
No, I don't feel that. The only thing I didn't like about that is she's not out of focus or out of shot, but she's facing the wrong way at the start and it's really dark.
Yeah.
But then she turns around and it's like the sun's behind her, so it makes sense. But and that was probably all done in natural light.
I had a great moment. I was seeing that film with a girl, right, and
she's a man of the world.
They had they did that opening bit and that does the cinemascope bit, and it's just like, oh, what's this? And they did the opening music thing, and it goes bang La La Land, and she leans in and goes, is this a musical? She'd never heard La La Land. It was an amazing moment.
Cute.
I laughed so loud, like I upset the whole screen. It was really.
Was she upset?
No, she was just like, is this a musical? Like, yeah.
Was this your ex-girlfriend?
It was an ex-girlfriend, yeah.
Oh dear Lord.
Yeah, that's a funny moment for me. I remember that's my association with that film is that moment.
I really like it.
Perfect comic timing, like a big there's that gap and just pause. It's a musical. It's amazing.
So serious.
Yeah.
It gets a lot of shit, I think, La La Land, because
it's not. It's just like a big hybrid of all those other great
but
films.
that's what I like about it.
Yeah.
People, I like when they speak about Real Without a Cause, and he's like, I got the bullets. Real Without a Cause is fucking shit, by the way.
Oh, disagree.
It's a bad film.
Disagree.
James Dean is a bad actor.
He's an attractive man, how dare you.
He's a good looking, that's all he's got.
And he's a good actor as well. He's an attractive actor, man.
That's mental.
Disagree.
He's like Tommy Wiseau.
Heartily disagree with that.
I know that's where Tommy Wiseau got the "you're tearing me apart" when he literally says that.
Yeah.
I would rather watch Tommy Wiseau do that.
You're mental.
So bad.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I like that about
might
it.
Have to cease to be friends.
That's fine. I don't give a shit.
Over Jimmy Dean. Anyway, go on.
It's like people are like, "Is Hollywood sucking its own dick?" And
it's so much.
And it's like, yeah. Good. Hollywood can do that.
It's been doing it for years. Yeah.
Good on it.
You make a fair point, but
so like I like all the Another Day in the Sun. That's the first one in the freeway. I quite like that, and Someone in the Crowd, which I really like. That's like Emma Stone with her flatmates, and Lovely Night.
It's a lovely flat. They're all like skint and they're living in this lovely.
She's got a poster of the Black Cat as well. The Universal horror film. She wouldn't be into that. She's just never seen that.
It's an orgy of evidence that she's an interesting girl. Like not like the other girls, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
One of those, she's not like the other girls. The other two ones are like, we're just quite uninteresting. Like, you better write me in that play.
Yeah.
Like, say something
else. It's got a bit of everything, I think. It's got I don't know
nothing.
why
it's got everything and therefore it's nothing. This is a La La Land podcast.
Oh, I hate that.
Is this a La La Land podcast?
Start a Fire by John Legend. I think that's an original, but
really the Messengers were quite cool, weren't they? Like the band.
I like when she's watching them and it just starts off with a lovely wee piano thing.
Yeah.
And then he comes out and sings and then it turns into this like big pop song,
and all the dancers get in front of him.
No, but it's like he does like a wee keyboard solo and she's just kind of looking at him like, what the fuck is going on? But it's just like he's sold out, but he doesn't care.
Music is being used to tell a story. It's very like Singing in the Rain, isn't it? Like that bit where she's at the party, right? All right,
I don't know.
He's at the party. She's at the pool party and he's playing the little like,
I love it, the
keyboard, and like she catches him out. It's there's a similar scene in Singing in the Rain where the female character is caught coming out of a cake. I want to say she's like this big theatre actress.
Yeah.
She's caught coming out of a cake, and then his character's like, oh, like I see you're a sellout, and then she goes, and so in that film La La Land, it's like, oh, can you do Iran? And it's like, you can't make a serious actor, serious musician.
That's an amazing part of that film. It's not amazing because it's done really well. There's nothing to it, but it's just funny. They're both really charismatic and easy to watch, and
he's just hitting that two notes, like
He's just kind of looking, and the singer's like really into it. Like,
it's good. I've changed my mind. La La Land.
That should have won over Moonlight.
Bollocks to you.
Fuck Moonlight.
Nah, Moonlight's better. Moonlight was anyway. La La Land got its share.
It's not garbage, but it's just not. And then finally, Greatest Showman.
Great Showman.
What a soundtrack.
What a soundtrack.
Even if you don't like, a lot of people have said to me, I don't know why they would come to me and say this, but they don't like the story, and I'm like, it's not about the story, it's about the songs.
Right.
It's about Hugh Jackman being a charming man.
He can sing.
Not
He can
really.
sing.
He sang live at the Brits, it was terrible.
He can sing. He was like a musical man beforehand.
I know.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Or something. And
Les Mis.
Les Mis. Oh, I should have mentioned Les Mis, should I? Nah.
No, but like,
get Les Mis into every podcast.
from start to finish, it's like, I've listened to that. Me and Steph get in the car all the time and I put it on.
Really?
And she's like, do you wait for me
Yeah.
to get in it? And I'm
she
like,
doesn't
nah.
like it. She
nah,
doesn't like
because
it.
I listened to this on my own.
Why doesn't she like it?
I don't know. I don't think she doesn't
She's
like
got a
the
bit of
film.
taste. Whoa.
I gurgled there. I was so
Yeah.
mad. I was almost sick. I was so mad there.
You almost vomited at that joke.
No, it's just, yeah, like, I couldn't pick. Maybe Come Alive is my
Yeah.
favourite, but do you know that one?
Yeah, no, I've seen it. I have seen Great Showman.
It just gets me hyped.
Yeah.
I listen to it on the way to work when I'm
About
working early, and I'm just
Barnum.
like,
P.T.
yeah,
Barnum,
right, what a
living it
shit.
up. Yeah, what a story.
What a shit. He's probably stabbing an elephant.
Yeah, that
in
poor
the foot.
elephant
Do you know what I
walking
mean?
through the streets of New York, and then he just abandons the elephant outside. It's bizarre. It's bizarre.
It's a great film. Well, it's not. The music's great.
Music is great.
If the music
like,
wasn't as good, then it wouldn't be.
fair enough. We're ending on Great Showman. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
what about like Lion King or like musicals from like Disney
Fuck that
films?
shit. I'd rather
No?
watch The Greatest Showman.
Fair. That's our position. That's the 6 out
Well,
of 7
that's
stars.
like, I could have mentioned, like, now I'm thinking about it, like, yeah, like Seven Psychopaths. It's got a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Got more Towns Van Sant.
Yeah.
And
Gross Point Blank. I was going to mention Joe Strummer did all of that.
right, okay.
It's fantastic. It's really good. It's like again like.
When did Joe Strummer dive?
When did he dive?
When did he dive?
I don't know when he dived. I know he died. Dove. The past tense to dive. Noise. Nonsense. This is all silly
It's
nonsense.
fine.
Can we end?
I've got Iron Man socks on.
Yeah.
I think they're my dad's.
Okay. That's got to cut. You got to cut that. What on earth is that? You lunatic. Trying to be brief, concise. 45 minutes would have been a good point to end.
Okay, yeah, well, soundtracks. I love them.
Contribute.
Love them or hate them.
Contribute. We haven't. This has not been comprehensive. There's got to be more soundtracks out there to talk about.
There's too many.
There's too many, but like I'm sure we've missed some
Yeah.
like obvious ones, and I want to hear what we've missed.
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Rumours by Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah,
It's great.
it's good, isn't it?
I never listened to it before.
Popular album.
There's a really, really good podcast called Do Go On, and they do a topic every week, and they were talking about that, and I was like, that's very interesting. Like just the story behind it, and it's just
I
great.
love how you're sending our listeners off to better podcasts like every episode.
If you want, there are 3 Australians that are like all
Watch.
comedians in their own right.
watch, listen, it's better than this, probably, judging by your effusiveness about that.
It's good.
Good.
Do Go On's great. But yeah, anyway, music. I love it.
It's pretty good, isn't it? It's pretty good. I don't know
Very
what my life
good.
would, I don't know what my life would be without it. Be quieter.
A hollow shell.
A hollow shell.
So yeah, thank you very much if you have listened the whole way through. I know this has been a couple of days late, but I think we just wanted to get something out.
Yeah.
Maybe not have been our best episode.
Oh, it's had its ups and downs.
Maybe a bit scattered.
Someone came to the door. That's life, innit? Life gets in the way.
I'm going to edit that out, so...
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
So
Well,
now-
the part where you left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll edit that out.
Oh, I thought you did stuff in those bits and you would like talk to
I'd,
them.
like, done a
And,
rap.
do like a one-on-one with the audience and be like
here
that guy's
we
a
go.
shitter.
No.
No?
A shitter.
Yeah, like a bad
Maybe
person.
you should listen to the podcast.
Yeah, I should. that would help. But you could do that. You could have like a one-on-one
I
in
could
those
just
moments.
whisper in the mic.
Be like,
Right, I think we're done here.
This is it.
So
Thank
yeah,
you, listeners.
thank you very much. I have no idea because this was going to be next week's topic and we were going to do Star Wars, but I'm going to wait a while before we come back to Star Wars.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
I think I need to refill my tank, my Star Wars tank.
Star Wars tank, yeah. So I don't know, topic next week? You got
Right
one?
in.
No, you got one?
We could do DVD special part 2.
Nah, fuck that.
Oh, I'll come up with something.
We'll do something.
And it'll be in the description or something. You'll be given a heads up.
Wherever we post this, it'll be on it.
Cool.
So, thank you very much. If you have listened all the way through, you're still here. It's much
Still
appreciated.
here, still
Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't. Follow us on Spotify if you haven't. Do all
There's a
that good
Twitter.
stuff.
There's a Twitter.
Yeah, Callum's in
I'm going
charge
to take
of
the reins of the Twitter.
Yeah.
I need to do something. I'd like some pointers. How does one tweet?
Well, yeah, honestly, if you do know anything about Twitter, I have no idea how you do it. How do you get followers? How do you...
What do you do? Do you buy them in the shop?
No, it seems that way.
Let's find out.
Everyone's got more
Let's
than
find
us.
out together, guys.
So yeah, thank you so much and we will see you next week.
See you then.
Bye.